Hello, I am a 34-year-old goth with no tattoos. By the time I was 17, I had well over 20 piercings, but somehow I've reached the age of 34 and still not acquired a single tattoo. And that kind of seemed like a thing worth making a video about, because my own stance on tattoos and whether I want to get any has really changed in about the last year or two. That all my life it wasn't a conscious decision not to get any tattoos. I always thought, like I think most young goths do, oh yeah, you know, tattoos are so part of the scene that like I'm bound to get some. Everybody cool has tattoos, I'm bound to get tattoos. But I could never really decide on something. I'm quite a commitment phobe and I could never really pick a tattoo. And I always had this rule with myself that if you choose a tattoo you like, you have got to sit on that idea for 6 months before you get it, because bitch, you're living with that forever, right? So 6 months, do you still like it? And I have never liked any of my ideas after 6 months, therefore no tattoos. But lately I have actually come to realise, you know what? I'm so freaking glad I never did. There are so many reasons now that I am very happy not to have any tattoos. This video is not intended as hate towards anyone with tattoos. I think there are lots of lovely tattoos out there. I do stalk a lot of tattoos and tattoo artists on Instagram. It's not about tattoos, it's about, do I want them on me? But I feel like it's something worth talking about because I think a lot of particularly young goths have the same kind of idea that I had when I was young, that body mods are like almost a necessary part of the goth scene. That, you know, things like clothes and makeup, you can look as extreme as you like, but you can like wash that stuff off at the end of the day, and you can put on your blue jeans and your pink shiny lipstick and you can be a normal person. But, you know, if you're going to get piercings and tattoos and major body mods that are a part of you forever, that's like a real commitment to the scene. And as I mean, there was a big thing on YouTube, I think, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, someone made a video talking about the fact that the only YouTubers who seem to be like accepted on the goth scene are the ones with a really extreme look. And it is kind of a thing on the goth scene that people are kind of looked up to, the more extreme their look is and all of this. So I think it's quite a good idea to put forward this my own view that, you know what, you don't need to buy into every part of the standardized goth look if it's not for you. Like, say, I mean, piercings, I love piercings because they're so changeable. You can take them in and out, you can like redecorate them, all of that. Obviously I like makeup, I like hair dye, I like lots of parts of the goth look, but tattoos are not for me. That's basically what I'm trying to get across is, you know, the bits that you like, go for that. If you want to keep your hair a completely natural shade of blonde, fucking do that. But you know, but you want to get your face pierced 25 times and have natural blonde hair, that's fine. You know, you do you. You don't have to like do it as a checkbox. Tattoos, piercings, long black hair, death hawk. You don't have to tick all the boxes, basically. So anyway, to jump into my list that I've made here of all the reasons I personally am happy not to have tattoos. So reason number one is that my style, you know, if you watch me on YouTube or you follow me on Instagram, you will know I do not have a look, you know. I do not, you know, like say someone like Black Friday who has a very defined, really cool look. I mean, she's almost like a cartoon character that, you know, like if I could draw, I would be able to immediately like draw that's Black Friday because she has such a defined look. And I think that's cool, but it's not something I could ever do. Again, too indecisive. I really like different looks, both in clothing, in changing my hair, in makeup. Tattoos are the absolute antithesis of a flexible look. And what I particularly don't like about tattoos, or wouldn't like on myself, is when it comes to vintage looks and kind of cosplay looks, that if you're suddenly dressing up as some kind of like Victorian woman or whatever, but you've got like great big metal tattoos all over you, it blows the illusion to smithereens. If you're doing cosplay, you're trying to dress up as someone else, but you've got tattoos that immediately shriek, this is who I am, it blows the illusion to smithereens again. And I really don't like that. And actually, there have been some goth models and things on Instagram who I've actually become bored with following them because of the fact that their tattoos make their look so distinctive that, you know, even if they're doing something really different for a photo shoot, I immediately know it's them because the tattoos are so distinctive. That could be a cool thing, but I really like it when someone's look is flexible. I really like seeing a picture of someone I've followed for ages and being like, damn, that's you. You look so different. Like, the majority of the people I follow are makeup artists who do really whack out their looks and, you know, change completely from time to time. And I love it with films as well. Tangent, but I love this with films when there are actors who, in the same film or the same series, they play totally different characters. Like, obviously Dollhouse is the best example of this. That Dollhouse, all of the characters are being inserted with different personalities every week. So you see the same actors becoming different people, and I absolutely adore that. And because I have such a thing for this, like, wow, it's you, but you as someone completely different. You can be someone different every day. How cool is that? Tattoos ruin that. So that's probably the biggest reason for me. Reason number 2, this is probably going to tick some people off here, and there's no real way to say this without ticking people off, but goth tattoos specifically. When it comes to tattoos that goths get, do you see where I'm going with this already? There's quite a limited number of themes that people get. You know, black cat, coffin, jack-o'-lantern, bats, witches, candy corn, anything Halloween related, anything Tim Burton related, again with the black cats and the bats, and you know, and although people do them in a whole variety of gorgeous, unique, interesting ways, and some of them are scary, and some of them are cute, and some of them are really elegant, and some of them are cartoonish, and there's like a whole bunch of ways to do those themes, but at the same time, I really have such a thing about becoming a cliche. And it was one of the reasons that I got rid of my Death Hawk, was because I just felt like, did I get this because I wanted it, or did I get it because it felt like a goth rite of passage that at some point you have to have a Death Hawk? And I feel a little bit the same about these very standardized goth tattoos. Do I want to be another goth with a very obvious goth tattoo? And the thing is, probably one of my favourite tattoos that I've seen on people and gone, if it was okay to just steal someone's tattoo, I would do that. It is Razor Candy's tattoo that she's had for years and years and years of the little bats flying out of her belly button. I love that tattoo, and I have done it with temporary tattoos before now. I have had bats flying out of my belly button, but that's so much her thing that I couldn't like rip it off wholesale. And it is quite muddy, the waters with like goth tattoos, that it's such a small range of things people go for. How many different ways can you do it and really make it uniquely yours? That's quite difficult. And then the other thing that is kind of reason number 3 is that when you pick a tattoo, you're not so much picking a tattoo, you're rejecting all other tattoos. This is the thing that blows my mind, when somebody just goes, oh, I had a really random idea, and I just decided to get like a haunted pineapple on my shoulder right here. Like, isn't it cute? Don't you love my haunted pineapple? And it can be like, dude, I love your haunted pineapple. I think your haunted pineapple is cute as shit. But you realise that that's the only tattoo you are ever going to have on this giant patch of your arm here, is this haunted pineapple that one day you randomly thought, ah, cute idea, haunted pineapple. Yes, it's a lovely tattoo, but is it the only tattoo you are ever going to want there? Is it better than every other tattoo in the world? This is my commitment phobic thing with tattoos, that yeah, sure, you can have it lasered and removed, but that's not perfect. It leaves colours behind. Cover-ups are always going to be difficult, and you don't really have complete freedom of what you're doing with a cover-up. So really, when you pick one and you put it in a big obvious place, that's the only thing you can ever have there. Ooh, you know, and it is like choosing one flavour of ice cream for the rest of your life. I can't do it. So I would far rather wear temporary tattoos. You know, and these days you can get custom temporary tattoos. I think there's like even like a little machine thing now, isn't there, that you can like put your own designs in and have it like spray onto you or something. I don't even know. I've seen the advert on Instagram, but temporary tattoos are becoming so much more viable and so much more flexible and customizable. And I think that's great. But I mean, you know, back in the 90s, there was kind of a thing against temporary tattoos that it was like really, really fake. And like, oh, you don't wear clip-on piercings. Oh, you don't wear fake tattoos because that's like really being a fake goth. You've got to like do it hardcore or not at all. And I think, thank God, that that view is kind of disappearing. Like, as crazy makeup becomes more of a thing and crazy temporary looks become more of a thing, I think we're embracing temporary tattoos more, and I think that's really good. Because I do like the look of tattoos, and I do wear temporary tattoos quite a bit. I haven't recently, because I've lost all of mine. I don't know where they are, but I do like them. But, you know, no, it blows my mind. The idea of ever creating a design and going, I love this to the exclusion of every other design ever, so much that I'm going to put it right across my chest or right on one arm or whatever. Sorry, commitment phobe, can't do it. But another reason, I think we're on to reason number 4 here. Tattoos are permanent, but they aren't permanent. In terms of tattoos do fade. They don't disappear, but they fade. And personally, I absolutely cannot stand the look of faded tattoos. It just looks kind of dirty, like especially if it's a really big, colourful piece. But then it fades and you've just got these kind of like funny, kind of faded, bluey, greeny, splotchy colours on you. I don't like how that looks. And the thing is, I really love colourful tattoos. If I was to get a tattoo, it would definitely be just like that. It would be big splattery colours, and those seem to be the ones that fade the worst and look the dirtiest. And you really see it when people say they've, you know, got a big breast piece or whatever that they've had done for a few years. Then they go and get something over here and here, and you can see the difference, that this looks stark and black and crisp and beautiful, and by comparison this suddenly looks kind of crappy. And it's like, yeah, you really need to shell out another however many £100 to go and get that touched up to make it look crisp. It's a bigger commitment than just having it on you forever. It's the touch-ups and things as well that I personally would want to get done, because yeah, I don't like how they look when they're faded. So my final thing when it comes to tattoos and me is, and tattoos and many people as well, I really, this is kind of a bit of a, I wish people would consider this more, not just me, I wish people would consider this more. Expectation versus reality with tattoos. I mean, you can see this immediately. If you go to Instagram and you go on the hashtag tattoo or tattoos, if you go on the top ones, i.e. the ones that people have liked the most, so these are the really good ones, you will see these amazing works of art and you will be like, holy shit, like tattooing as an art has, it's like at the cutting edge of art. I mean, you know, the realism people are creating these days in tattoos is mind-blowing. The artistry people are putting into tattooing is mind-blowing. It really is like the form of modern art. When you see the, you know, the top tattoos on Instagram, it's like, wow. But then if you click on the recent, that's just anyone, anywhere in the world tagging tattoos. It doesn't have to be good, it's just recent. This is the reality of tattoos. And some of them, yeah, sure, some of them are great, but a lot of them, you can tell someone has just gone, I'd really like a tattoo of a dolphin. Google, where's my nearest tattooist? Or, you know, or they've got a friend who's just started training to be a tattooer and they're like, oh, hey, this will be fun. Just tattoo me. I know you've only just started training, but oh, it'll be cute. It'll be a mark of our friendship. Okay, maybe some people are nice enough to let their friends scribble on them, and maybe it is sentimental and lovely. I couldn't. I'm sorry. It's my body. No, you're not using it as a doodle pad while you're training. But it is the thing with tattoos. I think if you are going to get a tattoo, I think you've got to do it with some form of patience. You've got to know this is serious cosmetic surgery. It is, you know, you can use it to majorly enhance your beauty, because I have seen tattoos on like the top, you know, the top Instagram page that I've been like, that is so beautiful. I would like that is almost like a sexy addition to a partner. Like, I would love to have that on a partner, to be able to look at that every night in bed and like touch it and like, wow, it's almost like getting a really great tip job or something. Like, literally, that is what a tattoo can do for you. It can give you this new beautiful body part, or you can just have a kind of average scribble from the dude up the road because you were really excited to get a tattoo and you just didn't really think. I think the internet is a brilliant tool these days when it comes to tattoos and finding tattoo artists. That tattoo artists, they do have Instagram and all these things as platforms. You can browse their work from anywhere in the world. Oftentimes they will be taking bookings, they will be traveling around, things like that. So you can find a really good tattoo artist. You can save up. Maybe you even go on holiday overseas to go and see this tattoo artist specifically and get something that is going to be a story because you went on a journey, you went on a pilgrimage for this tattoo. But it's also unique and beautiful and really well done. I think it is your body, it is cosmetic surgery. Don't just do it properly. If you're going to do it properly. I think basically is the end of my kind of little lecture on expectation versus reality with tattoos. But anyway, so to finish on a more positive note, things I do love about tattoos and the times I would consider getting a tattoo. So I really like tattoos on naked bodies. So if somebody's job basically involves them being naked or almost naked all the time, like strippers, I think tattoos are a wonderful idea. So a really obvious example is Malice McMunn on Instagram, who I've followed for ages. And because she is always, in a bikini, stripping or out walking her dogs, and she always seems to be in a bikini, her body is gorgeous. I mean, it's a great bloody body anyway. The tattoos really make it. Like, I think pale, naked bodies honestly look quite dull. So if my job was as a stripper, or if I lived in a really hot country and I was always pretty much in a bikini, yeah, I would probably have a lot more interest in getting tattoos. One thing I haven't mentioned is that actually a lot of the reasons I've had to rethink tattooing is because I don't know whether I can get tattoos now. Because of the amount of chemical sensitivities I have, I don't know how my body would react to ink. So if I ever want to get a tattoo, the only way for me to find out is to go there, get them to put like a speck of ink in me, see what happens. So I don't know if I can get tattoos, therefore I've had to kind of step back and think, did I really want them anyway? Do I want them enough to go through this whole hassle to find out if I can get them? So just that disclaimer there, because I should have said that at the beginning. But, if my job was as a stripper, I probably would go and get a speck of ink put in me and find out, can I get tattoos? Because I think they do look so much better than plain naked bodies. Like, if your body is naked, you've got to be in such great shape, like really, especially if you're pale, because I think all goths know it. If you're a bit pale and a bit out of shape, it doesn't look good. Whereas if you've got a bit of a spray tan or whatever, because I've had one spray tan in my life. I have had a spray tan when I went on holiday, and wow, it's amazing, how much more flawless you look. And it's why I think the only kind of supermodel I stalk on Instagram is, I've forgotten her name, but the black girl with vitiligo. She's got these amazing like piebald markings. She looks like a pony, like a skewbald pony, like a hot skewbald pony. And I love like the uniqueness of the markings on her body, whereas people with no tattoos, just a plain naked body, it's pretty boring, let's face it. So naked bodies with tattoos, I do think are gorgeous. I think Jeffree Star is another good example that, you see him kind of topless a lot. And if he had no tattoos, you just see kind of skinny dude chest, and it'd be pretty random. But with all the really gorgeous artwork he's got, it's like, wow, that's a body you could look at for ages. That would be a body that would be fun to be naked in bed with. Just be like, wow, check it out, like reading it like a newspaper, So I do think naked bodies look hella better with tattoos. The other thing aging. You know how people always say this thing to people with tattoos, like, oh my god, how is that gonna look when you are a grandmother? When you're 80, how do you think that tattoo's gonna look? And well, it might look a bit wrinkled and saggy, but as for having tattoos at that age, dude, they are gonna look so much cooler than the people without tattoos, because age, it strips away all your defining features. You know, you lose all the colour from your hair, your beauty, your features just sag, you just become this unremarkable grey looking person. And you know, I saw it with my own grandparents, that one of them, I hadn't seen her for a while, and when I saw her in the home I almost didn't recognise her because she just looked like an old lady. And that's quite scary. And obviously when you get older, a lot of things happen to your naked body that aren't so cute, like, you know, sagging and wrinkles and cellulite and spider veins, and it's not so pretty. So at that point, if I can get tattoos, I probably will get pretty much blasted with tattoos as an old person, because yeah, if everything that I like about my body has completely gone, as I think it does to all of us, unless they somehow discover how to make us immortal by the time I'm old, which would be really good. We need to get on that. Yeah, I would like to mark myself out in some kind of interesting way. So tattoos, probably when I'm about, I don't know, 65, something like that. That's when I plan to get tattooed at this point. But yes, in short, it's at the heart of it, it's the changeability. I like being able to change my style completely and what I wear. Therefore, temporary tattoos and no tattoos fit my personality far better than a permanent artwork that, you know, every photo I take, whatever style I'm doing, whether I'm doing vintage style or whatever, boom, there's the tattoo. It's me. You can tell it's me. You can tell it's me. I don't like that. I like to be a flexible amorphous creature, and that's my main thing with tattoos. But essentially, if you want them, go for it. But do give it some time. Sit on your idea for a while. Look up tattoo artists that are not just in your local area. Look them up, you know, around the place, and find someone who is genuinely going to give you like a beautiful boob job of a tattoo, rather than just, I got a tattoo, you know, it looks like a tattoo. Get something spectacular. If you're going to do it properly, and if you're not going to do it, that's fine. You don't need to have tattoos to be goth. You don't. And so yes, leave me your thoughts. Do you have tattoos that you love, that you regret? Do you not have tattoos? Do you want them? Do you not want them? Are you another strange tattooless person? The thing I find strange actually is straight edgers. That I've heard some straight edgers say they will not wear brand name clothing. They will only wear very plain clothing because they don't like to advertise slogans or bands and things, and yet most straight edgers are heavily into tattooing, and I find that very interesting. So if you are one of these people, please enlighten me as to what this is about, because I do find it interesting. Straight edgers, you know, rejecting so many unnatural things, you know, with drinking and smoking and all of this, and yet heavy into the tattoos and stuff. I find that very, very curious. So anyway, tell me things wherever you stand, and I'm going to shut up now with my naked pasty skin. Bye bye.